Hello, 7K team. Uh, this is April 2024, and what we're going to do is 7K Comp Plan Cycles Pro Training. Okay, so we're going to cover all aspects of our current comp plan and how we get paid and how the cycles work, how loyalty points work, uh, and how the new customer bonus works all simultaneously in one. And then we have a Q&A following, which you can ask all your scenarios that you want. But what I've seen is that people in the group aren't taking advantage, all the maximum advantage to accumulate more wealth and to make the most commission because maybe not having a full understanding of how our comp plan cycles work and how they can work it better to their and their team's advantage. So it's a team effort. And so it means communicating with one another like I'm communicating with you today. So let's just hop right to it. I've got a board all set up for us to do comp plan cycles training with, and it'll reflect what we're doing. Let me get to more full screen here and make sure I've got all the opportunity here. And I do. And what you're going to see is basically it's like your business hub. I've got a couple of extra things here that on your business hub in your back office, but it's going to have your left and right counters there. It doesn't have this here, but I just want to show you it's your left team and your right team. And anything that happens in your left team and right team, you're going to get points that come up to your counter. It doesn't matter if you did it, someone else did it, somebody above you placed it. So in this example, we're going to have you on the right side of somebody. So you're placed on the right. And so they can only place on the right too. You can place on the right and left, but people above you cannot place on your left team. So the points derived there is strictly from what you and your team do. That you bring to the table and what they do and what they do and what they do. Okay. So how do we get points? Well, we get points. Number one, we get new members. So the Legacy VIP 599 membership is 150 points. The VIP annual renewal membership is that's 269 is 50 points. That basic restricted membership, which you should only have extremely few of those, that's for the guy out already understands collectibles, want to get a collectible every month from the get-get, and not too interested in building a business. Okay. And that's 149 and it's 20 points. So remember, it's a lot less points. The other way you get points is the autosavers that you purchase once a month. And they're either 15 points or 20 points, depending on which one you select. I recommend the 20-point ones unless you really and love the gold foil notes, the Holman notes, which are just fabulous products to get and collect and maintain. They're 15 point. But you get coin drops. So the company has coin drops on a regular basis, maybe 2-3 times a month, and they're anywhere between 1 and 20 points usually. Most of the time they're 5 or 10 points, or somewhere in between, maybe 15. But it's depending on the coin. And then there's specialty coins that's for sale on the product list, anywhere between 1 and 50 points. Sometimes they can even be more, but they're very specialty numismatic collectible coins that come with points. So they're commissionable. All other products in a product list, it doesn't have points to it, there's no points that come there. That's just a product you can buy, okay, at your member direct prices. Okay, that's how we get it. Now, you will have a loyalty bank. Now, that's where points are generated. Every time you buy an autosaver, you get 30 points, and it goes to your loyalty bank. Loyalty, you can get free silver once a month, every 30 days. you can get free silver with your loyalty point, as little as 200 loyalty points. Every time you enroll a member, you get 50 loyalty points. Okay. So, and then in the week, the compensation week goes from Saturday at midnight, 1 minute past or 1 second past, to the next Saturday. So Mountain Time. So that's your compensation week. So the computer comes and checks these counters and checks your actives. So you have to have an active left and an active right that you personally enroll to be an associate and to earn a check. Now, caution, and we'll show this on the thing, but I like to point it out right at the beginning. If you have over 500 points in both counters at the end of any pay week, and you're not an associate, an active associate, that computer will cycle, it will deduct the smaller of those points, let's say it's 540, from both sides, and you will not get a paycheck. You will not get a check because you're not qualified to earn a check. You're not an associate. You don't have one on the left and one on the right. But I say that there's no way that's going to happen if you understand the comp plan, because of what I teach in the family business pack, which I introduced to this business way back in the beginning. And I've had nearly every one of my leaders who have succeeded, they all bill with the family business pack when they're getting people who want to earn an income, want to do this as a business, understand it from the beginning, but everyone ends up with a family business pack in time, as long as you're with us with 7K and you're trying to get that weekly paycheck of 500. You're going to end up with one anyway, and I'll show you that in the cycle training. Now, enough said. Let's just get with it here. Okay. So let's take some examples. Now, we're not going to say how many points came here and how many points came there. We're just going to say, this is how your counter ended up. And we're going to just kind of start like you just came in, you're brand new, and you're you just got sponsored by an active team that's building. So you got put on their right side, and they had a coin drop this week. So because of that, you bought a coin, and guess what? You got 20 points in your counter, and you got an autosaver. But people above you were placing people on your right side, and you ended up with 130 points over here. And that's Saturday. This is week 1. And that's how it ended, week 1. And you get dollars, nothing. And you had 0 actives and 0 actives week 1. Okay. So that's what we did. Now, what's going to happen here is I'm going to change colors on my pen, so make sure you get to see this thing real good. Okay. So now week 2 starts. Oh, really cool, man. You come in here and you sponsor your first person. So now your active reads 1, and they came in with a VIP legacy membership, and now your counter reads 170. Okay. And now these people, why did you place them? You place them here on your left because you don't have any points over there. You need a person left and right anyway, right? Okay. So here we go. These people sponsored more people, and they sponsored more people, and you had let's say 410 points. Okay. Now notice these points rolled over from week 1 to week 2, and then they added new points to it. Okay, you didn't do anything more. You did enroll one person. That's cool. You're active for 30 more days, 34 more days. That extends that. You were we bought your coin, it made you act. Every time you do something that creates 15 points or more, you extend your activity. Okay. And you can also change your autosaver date and kind of push it off a little further. And you want to kind of do that because when you enroll, you normally get on the 1st or the 15th, and you want to start getting so you have your autosaver on the 8th, the 21st, or the 26th. And you do that when you have activity that other than your autosaver activity, like enrolling a new person. So here we are, week 2, okay? And your check is still $0. Okay, that's cool. Now, we can make it so you make a check every week. Some people do that. Some people just get in and make money the first week. Some people, heck, I had one person that came in, became a bronze the first week, made $2,000 the first week. But not all people do that. I said I had one person do that. Okay. And so now, uh, you know, we start off week 3 with 170 points and 410 points. To get a check, you're going to need an active on your right side. So let's say this week, what happens? Okay. You're looking for people, you're helping, you're piquing interest, you're doing it, but everybody's gonna, I want more information, I want more information. That happens sometimes, happens a lot. Okay. But let's say this is what happens. Okay. I'm going to kind of erase this down here. Okay. Because that's how we started the week. That's how we started week 3 right there. And so let's say what happens, you end up and the person you sponsored some people and they sponsored people, and you end up with 260 points on the left side in week 3 and 585 points at the end of week 3. Okay. 85. Okay. Well, you're still not an associate. You don't have an active on the right. Okay. You need an active on the right to become an associate. So there's a couple of things. Week 3 ends up that way, and you still have no check. But your points roll over. Now, something else could happen. There's another thing that could have happened. You could have made a $250 check. If you would enroll one person here on your right side, placed them here, and that was the reason, part of the reason you got 585 points. So let's just see what that would have looked like if you were an associate in week 3. Well, you would have then made week 3 a $250 check instead of no check. And here's what would happen. Because you enrolled a new person, you also had a new customer rollover bonus. So what would happen is they're going to subtract 250 points from each side. They're going to leave you with 10 points in your counter. They're going to subtract 250 points from this side and leave you with 335 points, and you get a $250 check, and you're going to start off the next week, with 10 points that rolled over because you had a new customer bonus, because you enrolled one person, became an associate. And so you got your first commission check. Now, that could have happened just that way. So let's go back to the state that you did not become an associate. Okay. And we're going to now reset the counter, because we're going to take another look at this. We're going to reset our counter where you have this scenario where you did not make a check in week 3, and your counter was 260 points and 585 points, and you made no check. And also, you had no actives on your right side. So week 3, we're going to continue with the scenario that these points roll over because you're not an associate. You didn't qualify to make the $250 cycle check that is only for less than 500 points. Anytime you have a week that ends with your pay side is the side that has the least points. Your bank side is the side that has the most points. That's how we differentiate the two. That's why whenever you buy an autosaver, you get points for your own autosaver, and they're posted to your pay side, to the side with the least point, to help you out, to help you make a commission check. The company helps you make your optimum check in that respect. Okay. So now we start week 4. Okay. And week 4, we're trying to get that $500 check, you see. But let's say this is what happened. Points came in on your left side from the people that's on your left side. They're building, they buy, and let's say you end up week 4 with 350 points. And 760 points. Okay. Well, you're still not an associate. Your check would be 0, but your points roll over. Now, again, if you enroll someone and you place them on your right in that week, then what would have happened? Well, if you'd enrolled someone, you'd had an active here. You'd had to place them on your right side. And let's say that was part of this 760 that rolled up, okay? That added, made that the 760 plus whatever else happened on the right side, okay? So in this case, then you would have had another minus 250 points taken from both sides, because you enroll someone this week, so you have a new customer bonus. You enrolled them this week to get that one active. Doesn't matter which side you place them on. You got a new customer bonus for enrolling someone, or 2 or 3. Maybe you enroll 3 people. You got a new customer bonus. that applies for the current pay week that you enroll them in. Okay, so they will subtract 250 from this side, leave you with 100 points in your counter to start off the next week. They'll subtract 250 points from this side and leave you with 510 points. So they subtracted 250 from both sides and they paid you that $250 check. Okay, in week 4. Okay. Let's do this. Let's enroll 2 people. And let's keep our 350 points. And let's say we make no check in week 4. Let's do this. Okay. So we're going to keep our 350 points. We're going to keep our 760 points. Okay. We're not going, I'll put it back in, 350. Placed on the right side. We've got 350 here. And now let's do this. You enroll 1 this week, you got a new customer bonus, you got 350, you got a new person to enroll. You're already an associate. You want to become a copper. Where do you place them? I'm asked this sometime. Obviously, you're already an associate. The pay week's not over yet. You're enrolling a VIP legacy at 150 points. Well, let's place them on the left side here. Okay. You see that? Somewhere, first available spot. You just pick left. It goes down to the first available spot. Well, that's going to make this now 500 points and 760. And you're got 2 actives left and 1 active right. Okay. You're trying to work to become a copper. You need 2 actives left, 2 actives right, a associate left, and associate right out of the people you enroll. Well, now that week 5, you're going to make a $500 check because you have over 500 on the left, you have over 500 on the right. They're going to subtract 500 points, make it go to 0, subtract 500, make it go to 260, and give you a $500 check. Isn't that powerful, y'all? And that's how you start off the next week, week 6, with 260 points on your right and 0 on your left. Let's say what happens this week now is that you have business coming up on your left, business coming up on your right, and you end up, and by the way, your new customer bonus was used. When you enroll, each time you enroll these people, 1, 2, and 3, you got plus 50 points. And when you bought that loyalty point, that autosaver, that point, that autosaver, that first week, remember you got 30 points. So you got in your loyalty bank you already have sitting here 180 points. I just want you to understand that this is separate. In your loyalty bank, you got 180 points because you bought an autosaver that first week, remember? You just wanted one. You got 30 points. You got 50 points when you enroll that person. You got 50 points when you enroll the second. You got 50 points in there. So you have 180 points in your loyalty bank. That's where you get free silver. Okay. Now, here we are, week 6. You're still trying to get to be copper. You're helping your people sponsor people. You're sponsoring people. It's got a good team thing going here. Now, this is what happens. You end up with 350 points at the end of week 6 in your left team, and your right team just kind of explodes to 890 points. Okay. So your bank side is why? There's help. The people above you are trying to rank up. People above you are trying to help their people. They place left and right too. Well, that happens. And remember, I said you joined an active team that was building right then. Okay. And so it's more than just you and your sponsor helping you build. You're in a team building now. Okay. And that's a good situation to be in. And all people will get there as long as you keep working with your team and you start building a team, and you and your sponsor help you, or your upline leader help you build that team momentum for building your team. Okay. Same thing happens. So let's say we ended the pay week, number 6, with 350 left, 890 right. You are an associate. Okay. But you didn't enroll anyone new, so you have no new customer bonus. It ends, and what's going to happen? You're going to get a paycheck as an associate. You're going to get a $250 cycle check because your pay side is less than 500, so you're going to get a 250 cycle. And so they're going to deduct minus 250 from each side. Okay. And they're going to pay you a $250 check. That's pretty cool. We already got all our money back in just 6 weeks, $750. and we're accumulating wealth. Isn't that pretty cool? Okay. Yeah. And you bought an autosaver. You bought an autosaver because you're in week 5 or week 6. Okay. You at 210 loyalty point. Well, you can get a free half-ounce silver with that. 200 points, 300 points, you can get a free ounce of silver. Okay. So I encourage you to get it, get it. Unless you have a particular product you want to save, and your loyalty can build up and build up and build up in that bank till you get the product that you have enough points to get the product. But that product may be out by the time you get the product. I believe in a bird in the hand's worth 2 in the bush. Okay. So get that free silver. I like the 300 points to get the ounce of silver instead of 200 points for the half ounce. Okay. That's what I like, but you do what you like. Okay. So they will deduct 250 from this side. Okay. But you have no customer loyalty point. You have no new customer bonus rollover point. So you can't roll over that 100 points, but you don't lose them. No, they're going to reset your counter to 0 to start the next week, pay you that $250. Then they're going to add 100 points to your loyalty bank, and you're going to have 310. You got enough to get that free 1 ounce silver now. Okay, so your loyalty points that you don't get paid on in commission under 500 as an associate or as a copper, if these are your points as a copper, bronze, if you ended up with these points in that pay week and in your associate or any rank above, it will happen the same way with you too. So You get a $250 cycle check. They reset your counter to 0. They send you 100 points to your loyalty points because you had no new customer bonus rollover benefit. And then they subtract 250 points from this side and leave you with 600 and let's put it down here, 640, so we can start the new pay week. Okay. And so that's where we start our new pay week. At 0 and 640. Look, you got enough on the right side to make a cycle check, a full $500 already. See why we call it a bank side? That's pretty cool. Okay. So let's say during this week, okay, what happens is you end up this week with 480 points on your left team and 1,600 points on 40 points on your right team. Okay. That's how week 7 ended, or month 7. But that's how you counter ended at the end of the week. Now, there's a couple of things that can happen. If you enroll no one, you have no new customer rollover bonus. Okay, if you let that happen, they will subtract 250 points because you're not qualified. You don't have enough points to get a 500 cycle, but you got enough points to get a $250 cycle, and they will then take that away, and they will leave you with 230 points if you had a new customer rollover bonus, but you don't. So it gets set to 0 instead of the 230. And they subtract 250 points from this side, leaving you with 1,390 points. And they pay you a $250 check. Now, that's if you're an associate, copper, bronze, silver, gold, executive gold. If that's how you're ended, it applies to every one of the ranks the same way. But those 230 points go and add to your loyalty bank down here. Plus 230 to your loyalty bank. If you want that to happen, I don't recommend that. Let me show you why. If you had this scenario of 480, buy an autosaver on your left side, purchase an autosaver for $150, the $139 plus shipping, $150, have it shipped to you. Where are they going to post that autosaver? To your left side. Okay, when they post that to your left side, you're going to have 500 points. Okay, so you're going to end up getting a $500 check instead of a $250 check. And you're going to get one autosaver coin. You're accumulating wealth. And you paid $150 for it. But you got this case, you come out getting a $500 check minus $150 and an autosaver. So you get $350 and an autosaver. And here you'd only have $250 in no autosaver. So you come out money ahead, wealth ahead. An autosaver is worth something. And if in time, they can be worth a lot more in time. That's what history has shown us. And so here, instead of deducting $250, they're going to deduct $500, pay you that $500 check. And that you're going to end up with, instead of $1,390, you're going to end up with $1,140 and zero, because they're going to reset this to zero. And you're not going to get any loyalty points. Okay? You come out ahead. So it's your choice, but you're in control of this. Now, if you have a family business pack, you don't buy it on you, you buy it on your family business pack membership on your left side, so it posts to your left side. So it gets points and you get points. So you get double points. That's pretty cool. Okay. Let's take another scenario with this. Let's erase this. And let me get my ink pen working again. And so let's take a scenario where you have two that you've enrolled on your left side, and you have 530 points in your counter, and you have 1,620 points in your counter on your right side. That's how you end the week. Okay. So what do you do? Well, you're going to get a $500 check. You're not close enough to become a copper. So you go ahead and let it subtract 500 from each side. And it gives you 1120 on this side. And since you're just an associate, it will reset your counter to zero. But it doesn't just subtract 500 over here, it subtracts 530. So you end up with 1,090. And why do they do that? 1,090, because they subtract minus 530 on each side. Because you're just an associate. And that resets to zero. This is your incentive to rank up so you can get either loyalty points or rollover points in commission. This is your incentive to rank up, help your people rank up. But you got a $500 check. So now let's take this same scenario and say that you're a copper, bronze, silver, gold. You were any of these ranks. What would happen? Well, in that case, you got that 530 points, and it's not going to subtract 530 points. Okay? I mean, it is going to subtract 530 points. I'm sorry. The only way it won't subtract 530 points is if you got a new customer bonus rollover. But in this scenario, we said you didn't enroll anyone new this week. So you don't have any customer rollover point. So it's going to subtract 530 points from both sides. If you're a copper, bronze, silver, associate, any of them. But if you're copper, bronze, silver, or any of these ranks, when when you have your 1,090 left after minus 530, you get a plus 30 points in your loyalty. So you get that 30 points, it goes to your loyalty bank for all ranks that could have gotten paid, could have qualified for commission if it met a full cycle. And there are no 250 cycle checks above 500. So, 750 doesn't make us 500 and a 250. It is only for less than 500 points that the 250 cycle occurred to help people get money faster. Okay? Help people get money faster into their pocket while they're building their foundation, building their group so that they can get to that $500 cycle check with more people in their teams. So, okay. So let's take a couple of scenarios now. We got the basics down. So let's just kind of erase this all here, right here. And let's kind of reverse this scenario sometimes. I like to kind of reverse a scenario. Okay. And and let's I need to get my pencil here. Let's do 450 points here. And 2650 here on your right side. And you're about to enroll a VIP membership. Now here's where you have a choice. And this kind of depends on you. It's how close you are to copper. Because see, if you enroll that VIP membership and put them on your left side, you're going to get 3 actives on your left. So let's do that and see what that comes out. See, this is the scenario you should play for yourself. Number one, you're enrolling a new member. So you're going to have a new customer rollover. So if you place them on the left, that's going to make 500 points. And you're going to get a $500 cycle check. Now you know you're going to get a 250, but you would definitely get a 500, and then you'd have 3 here instead of 2, and 1 personal active on the right. You're still an associate. The most you can make is 500, and you get a $500 cycle check. Now that's one way of doing it. Okay. And you get $500. Here's the other way of doing it. Okay. And so you have to determine what's best for you and how close you are to copper. Let's say you don't enroll them on that side. Oop. You got your 450 now. You're going to, and you got 2 here. You got 1 person enroll. Let's say you enroll them and put them on your right side. Okay. What would happen? Well, those 50 points would come up here and make 2,700 points. You're going to get a $250 cycle check. And you've got 2 on your left, 2 on your right. you're much closer to getting to your copper, which gets you to 1,000, which gives you rollover and loyalty points for anything above 500. And now they're going to subtract they're going to subtract 250 here, leave you with 240 points to start the next week. They're going to subtract 250 points here and leave you with 2450. So just to make it kind of clear, that's what you're left with to start the new week. And you got a $250 check in your hand. But look, you're only 10 points away from another $250 check the next week. And you're a little closer to copper. Now, I can't tell you which one's the best for you to do because I don't know your business. I don't know how close you're to an associate on each side or not. But that is the far better strategic decision to make because you're still going to make the same amount of money. It's just a matter of when you're going to make it. Okay. So these are the kind of decisions that you need to make. Okay. So let me give you another little kind of scenario. Let's just put some points in here and do a couple of little scenarios. And you can be an associate or you could possibly be a copper. It depends if one of these two is an associate on your right and one of these two is also an associate on your left, then you're a copper. Okay. So you'd have to look into your report and Downline Explorer report and look at your personally sponsored and see if they're an associate on your left and an associate on your right. Okay. So let's just take some numbers and do a couple of scenarios real quick. And let's say you flip-flop, and that can happen. And let's say you got 4,380 points here. Now your left side's your bank side. It flip-flopped. Your left side became stronger than that team building side on your, and that happens. It happened to me 3 times over the period of time. And so you got 380 points here. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you're an associate, copper, gold, silver, any of it's same thing's going to occur for you. Okay. So what's going to happen if you did not enroll anyone here, you have no new customer bonus, they're going to subtract 250 points from each side. Okay. And you're going to get a $250 check. That extra 130 also gets subtracted for the 380. So 380 gets subtracted from both sides. You get a $250 check. And if you did not have a customer rollover bonus, you get a plus 130 loyalty points added to your loyalty bank. Okay. 130 loyalty points. So how's your counter going to end up? Well, your counter is going to be now to start the new week, 4,000 minus 380, 4,000. Okay. And then over here, it's going to be 0. Now, if you had a customer loyalty point, meaning you enroll someone that week, I want you to understand how this works. You would not get the 130 loyalty points. You would get a carryover of 130 points, and they would not subtract 130 from both sides. They'd only subtract 250 from both sides, and you'd end up with 4,130 points. And that's how you'd start the next week. 4130 on your left side, 130 points, commission points on your right side, and you got no loyalty point because you had a customer rollover point. So kind of understand that. That's the only thing that happens there. Okay, so let's kind of jump up and do another one kind of like that and take different scenarios, okay, and see what they play out. Let's get rid of some of this stuff off our board here. So we just have germane what we're talking about, okay? Okay, get our pen back. Let's put an example up here and let's take a couple of examples. Okay, let's just say we have 9,600, and notice I flip-flopped this on you, and I did that on purpose. I want you to understand that that can happen. Just because you have one strong side doesn't mean it's going to stay strong that way out. And most of the time, as you're building and you're growing and you're building, it won't. It will flip-flop on you, and that's a good thing. It is not a bad thing because you get the work and the strength of both sides of your team alternating where you need to work. Okay. And you got 950 points here. Okay. Now, it's Saturday. You've been trying to enroll another person. You've been trying to, you know, uh, you've been trying to get to copper. You're an associate. Okay. You've been doing everything you can, and you just need one more enrollment. Let's do this. Let's say you got an associate. Okay. On both sides, and you got one active on your right, that is an associate. And you've been trying all week to do this, and you only have your membership. Okay, here's your choices. You can finish off the week like this as an associate. Okay. And you're going to subtract 950 points from both sides. And they're going to pay you a $500 check. And you're going to end up with 8,730. Yeah. Over here. And you're going to end up with 0 over here. When they subtract 950, they're going to pay you a $500 check. As an associate, that's all you can do. You can't get, it doesn't go to loyalty points. That's your incentive to rank up. Now, if you were a copper already, if you were a copper or bronze or silver or gold, and you had no customer loyalty points or executive gold or pay any rank from copper and above, and you were already a copper, then they'd subtract 950 points from both sides. They'd pay you a $500 check, and they'd add 450 points to your loyalty. So you would not lose those points. They go to loyalty. However, if you're an associate trying to get to copper and you had this scenario, or if you're a bronze, copper, silver, gold, executive gold, I just encourage you, you don't have a family business pack? I'd encourage you to seriously considering enrolling your spouse, your company, your son, your an eligible member, enrolling them, place them on your right side. You just with a VIP membership at $269. Well, that's going to be 1,000 points then. Now you spent about $275, including shipping, tax, whatever. Let's say $280. Okay. You spent $280, but you're going to get a check of $1,000, and you're going to get a coin with the membership for your family member. Okay, so you're building wealth. So your net is a coin and $720. And see, you're on the way to getting that family business back, especially if you add and enroll your spouse. So see, that's why I say everybody ultimately that's building this business, looking at it as big business, builds and gets the family business back in time. So that's why we want you to know about it, so you can put yourself on top and have leverage for the future, and you're in control of your rank and your actives, and it gives you more control over your business model. Okay, but it's all choice. So wow, look at the difference that is. Which would you rather have? $500 or this? See, that's why it's strategic to understand the cycles and the bonuses. And if you'd have ended up and had more, even if you bought the legacy VIP and you ended up with 1,100 points here, well, yeah, 100 points will flush. Unless you're a bronze or a silver or a gold, then hey, those goes to loyalty points, because you would have been eligible for that in commission. It just wasn't enough for that 500 cycle. And that's what you get. So I just did it so it just made it economical. But at the same time, that legacy membership is paid for partly, mostly by commission. So another thing to consider. In fact, that's why you talk with your sponsor, your upline leader. When you're in doubt about these things, call, immediately coordinate, sophisticate. That's what we do. Okay. So with that in mind, let's say one final example that we can go through multiple scenarios with. Let's kind of erase all the extraneous material here, get it out of our way. Okay. So we kind of talking from the same deal. Let me get my pen so I can write again. And let's start with 14,690 in our counter and 1850 in our counter on our right. Our bank side, 14,000. Our pay side, 1,850. And let's say you're an associate, okay? They're going to subtract, and this is how the weekends, and you're an associate. So as an associate, I should have just kind of you can still be just an associate with 2 left and 2 right if you don't have a an associate out of one of those 2 on each side, remember? So you can still be an associate with 2 actors left, 2 actors right. Okay. So you're an associate. What is going to happen at the end of the week? They're going to subtract 1,850 points from both sides. They're going to make this 0, and then that will make this and 1,850 points less, or about what, 12,840 points. Okay. And you're going to get a $500 check as an associate. Well, one thing good about this is you've got all these kind of points coming up. You know that you need to really get the building because you got more points coming up than you're getting paid on, and that's a good thing. I mean, that could set you into the position of making a $250, $500 check nearly every week, if not every week, if that kind of point is coming up, in other words, you flip-flop, okay? And that's a good thing. Let's say you're a copper, okay? You're a copper, you can make $1,000 a week. Now you can be a copper right here, okay? And if you're a copper, and what are they going to do as a copper? Well, I'm going to show you what they're going to do. It's going to be a little different. If you have no leadership, no new customer bonus rollover, they're going to subtract 1,850 from both sides, just like the associate, except you're a copper, and what you're going to do is you're not going to get a $500 check. You're going to get a $1,000 check as a copper. Now that 850, that went away. That's your incentive to rank up to be a bronze, to help a person on your left become a copper, and a person on your right become a copper. You got, and help them and help your new people get in and help you bring new people to the table so you can become a bronze and you can capture this volume that's coming up. You didn't do all of it. It's indirect. Now you may be the causal factor of it, and that encourages you to really get to work and rank up. Okay, so 1,850 goes away, just say it resets to 12,840 and 0 for the next week. Your points come up for you to get, but you want to rank up to bronze. So what do you need to rank up to bronze? You need to have at least 3 over here and 3 over here. Okay. And if you did that this next week, you did that during the week that this is growing to, and let's say you're a bronze now. Here you're an associate. Here you're a copper. Here you're bronze. Now, you got leadership points because you enroll people. It doesn't matter if you enroll them left or right, but you enroll some that pay week, you got leadership points. What's going to happen? Well, they're going to subtract not 1,800, they're going to subtract 1,500 from both sides. Oh, it's a little different, okay? And they're going to leave you with 350 points. That's a $250 check the next week already, no matter what, if you're a bronze. And they're going to pay you a $1,500 check. Holy moly. Now, don't you want that all because you had that customer rollover bonus? Now, what if you did not have that customer rollover bonus? Well, let's just look at that scenario. Let's say that came up after you became a bronze, after you enroll people, and you're a bronze, and that's how it ended up, and you did not enroll anybody, and you didn't have this. Well, the only difference here is they will subtract the 1850 from both sides, and they will put 0 there, and you'll get 350 points in your loyalty bank. That's the difference. Does it roll over to your commissions, or does it roll over to your loyalty? Because you're eligible to be paid on it. So you're going to get paid. That's enough to get a 1-ounce silver coin. Hello? That's pretty cool. Okay. Let's take the example, one more quick final example with this one. You're a bronze. You know your power side over here. You don't have your family business pack filled up, or your son or your cousin or your brother. They've been on the edge for a while. You got 1,850 points. If you don't have your family business pack and you don't have customer rollover, you know, you might want to consider doing a VIP. Okay, that's $5.99, right? For your spouse, for your company, placing it on your right side. That's your pay side, and that's 150 points. That'll make that 2,000 points, and that'll give you a $2,000 check instead of a $1,500 check. And I know you paid $5.99, but look, most of that membership was paid for by that extra commission, because if you had no customer rollover bonus, it would have went to loyalty. So it's just a matter of which one you would prefer. So these are the type of decisions that you need to make when you're looking at how the cycles work with our new customer rollover bonus, our loyalty points, and what you can earn in a week, your maximum check based on your rank. And when do you get some more product? When do you buy some product? When it increases your wealth and increases your total net worth. Those are the things that you need to consider when you're looking at your volume on Saturdays and evaluating the alternative and discussing it with your sponsor, upline leaders, whoever you're working with. And that's why we have this simple one-page comp plan. And there's the rank up. These are how we get our points, by the different starter plans, by the auto savers, the specialty coins we buy that have points on them. And we get credit for anything that happens on our left team, anything that happens on our right team. And that's how we build businesses together. And this is, since I gave illustrations of how the comp plan works and how pay will be there, that's how it works. So if you get those numbers, that's what you get. Does everybody get those numbers? No, everybody gets different numbers every week. Everybody's different teams are different. Everybody starts the business differently. But what I want you to understand, that this is training. This is training to illustrate how the compensation plan cycles work, so you can have strategies to best benefit you and your team as you are building a 7K business together. Encourage you to look at the income disclosure, study it carefully, look at what the averages are, what the medians are, what the low, and what the highs are. because we have highs. We have people making this much money at these ranks. We got 7.5 years of proven track record. We'll soon be 8 in November. So I hope you see what we see. I hope this clarifies a lot in how our cycles work in a 7-pay comp plan, how the loyalty plan, how you get those loyalty points. You find them under loyalty in your back office. Click on it, then go where you see points. Click on it. You can see everything you've ordered, every time a deposit's been made, how it's been there. So you get to see the total. So you just go look at it. Okay. And if you can't find it, then ask your sponsor, call support. They'll tell you how to find it in your back office. It's right there. It's in everybody's back. Now, one caution. If you go inactive and you lose your points, you will lose all your loyalty points. That's a lot of free silver. So don't go inactive. Don't lose in your point. Don't lose your commission points and your loyalty points. That's like taking your money out of your wallet or your purse, throwing it in the trash can, putting it out, and letting the garbage man pick it up. I mean, just kind of think about that for a second. Okay. I hope this is beneficial and helpful for everyone. And we will see you at our next training, and it'll be posted shortly to your Team Band app, so you have available to it, and up to my YouTube website, so it's there available for you to use, to study, to learn, to answer your questions. Thank you, thank you, and look forward to seeing each and every one of you as you grow and build, and as you help one another in this one another business, helping people achieve their financial dreams. Thank you.